In Europe, there was a period of time called the Protestant Reformation, and during this time, the Eastern Orthodox Christian Church and the Roman Church separated. This separation led to the creation of Protestantism, which broke off into three sects: Calvinism, Lutheranism, and Anglicanism. And Martin Luther was the man who created Lutheranism sect, and King Henry VIII was the man who created the Anglican sect. And King Henry VIII did this by breaking off from the Church of England because the Church of England refused to let him get a divorce. The last sect of Protestantism was Calvinism, and both the Puritans and the Pilgrims were Calvinists, and both of these groups left Europe to escape the persecution they were receiving in Europe, and so to be free and follow their own religious beliefs, they traveled to New England. And the Calvinist beliefs were created by a man named John Calvin, who spoke of an idea called predestination. And this idea was that once a person was born, they either had God's grace or they didn't. And the decision of whether a person would go to heaven or hell was decided for them at birth. When the Calvinist groups arrived in New England, they formed their own form of government that based around the religious ideals, and the political and religious leaders were referred to as elects. These leaders were made to go through a process in which the person had to prove they had God's grace, and only then could that person be allowed to serve in government. These people also had to be considered visible saints, which were people in New England who made their devotion to God and their faith clear in the community. By proclaiming their faith, they were allowed to become a member of the church.